Good morning, John. Well, here we are, another day in paradise. A little bit overcast today. We've been lucky. I feel bad for the people out on the coast from all the way down through New Orleans up through the Vermont. It's New York. The whole coastal area had terrible storms, rains, winds, tornadoes. We were fortunate. We were out on the periphery of that, just slightly west of it. We did get a little rain. Our streams are in wonderful condition. Everything looks very positive at this point for a great fall trout fishing. There's a lot of trout left in Pine Creek. The runs are running beautiful. Things look very positive for this fall. Now, we could end up with one of those hurricanes coming up through here. I was talking to John before we got filming here this morning about, I think it was 1972, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong on this, and I could be wrong, but the club stocked Slate Run, and everybody said, well, why did they do that? Well, there was an agreement. When Slate Run was made fly fishing only, they had to sign an agreement to stock trout in it. And that agreement was carried out all the way up until they had another agreement to make it a non-stocked wild stream. So at any rate, we had stocked, I think it might have been 1972, and we had a whole truckload of hybrids, brook trout bred with browns, and they were all 16, 17, 18 inches long, and we had them all up through way up into the two branches of it. And that was on a Saturday we stocked those. And by Wednesday, the total accumulation, I think, of over the 2.5 days, we had, I think, either 16 or 18 inches of rain. And you can imagine what in this valley with the steep mountain sides, gathering water and quickly getting it into Pine Creek. Pine Creek was at a terrible flood stage. So, here we are with rain. Our area really lucked out. I feel very bad for the people on the coast and where that storm went up through the New England states. They're still feeling it, although it's draining off, but we were extremely lucky. We haven't always been that way, and that's why I told you about 1972. This isn't something that happens that never happened before. It has happened before, and it's a big deal. And if you are unfortunate enough to be in the path of one of those storms, you can really get wiped out. So at any rate, we're moving into a great fall period of fishing. We're looking forward to good trout fishing. It looks like September, October, November this year, so another 3 months of trout fishing. The club is going to put in $10,000 worth of fish into Pine, so that'll create a little more interest and a lot more fish. And of course, the state stocks in the fall. So, barring any violent storms, the long-range weather forecast, I don't know if you notice if he's on the film or not, but my cat's sitting here with me. But at any rate, we're looking for just an incredibly good fall. So with a little luck and nature controlling how much rain we're going to get, it looks pretty exciting. The club's got the money. We're going to stock September 18th. The truck will be at the store at 9:30, between 9:30 and 10. To keep the future generations going, we're asking any people with young kids, and I'll be criticized for this, but if you have young children, bring them out. Get them excited about fishing. Bring them out, and we'll have them carrying fish and putting fish in the water. We'll try to video and take photographs of them. Let's keep our future generation involved in this. So it's a great activity. Bring your kids out. Kids love it. They get fired up. It doesn't matter whether they're male or female. They absolutely love to do it. So if you have young kids and you want to give them a really neat experience, bring them up this week or that weekend September 18th. We'll meet in front of the store again at 9:30 till 10 o'clock. We won't spread these, like we normally do in the spring. We will put these fish in the upper 3/4 of the project, and we probably won't stock. We'll put some all the way at the far end, but down toward Bunnell Run. But most of them will end at Black Walnut Bottom. Now these fish normally drift for the first few days. They drift downstream. Some go up. I would love to know. I always wanted to put some kind of device on them where we could track maybe 50 fish and find out where do these things go? Do they die like they always used to say? Oh, they all die in the summer. Do some go up Slate Run and then come back down again in the fall? I suspect that happens. I've seen back in the 60s, I remember seeing huge numbers of brown trout in the thin riffles right below the 7 Mile. Go up there a couple of weeks later, you get into mid-November, late November, early December, you can't see a fish anywhere. So it's kind of neat what they do and what their habits are. Are they all hiding under rocks, or have they some come back down again to Pine Creek? But it would be wonderful to know. I don't think I'm going to see any of those projects happen in my lifetime, but sometime people will find out where these fish go. And I had the professor from Mansfield come in one day and tell me that he said, I don't announce it, but he said, we have caught your fish at the dam in Gailton. He said, I'm sure your fish by just, I can identify them. And he said, I think it's up to 2.5 to 3 years for them to make the trip. So that was kind of really fun to hear. I wish we could have had a more in-depth study so that we know more about stocking. We're dealing with thermally challenged streams. If we don't have a good reliable stocking program, a lot of our trout fishing enjoyment will disappear. We all can't go up Slate Run and fish on the Francis Branch. So, that keeps people away from the smaller streams when they're on Pine Creek. That makes some of the small stream fishermen happy. They think, well, they should be down there. But it's not that they're bad people. They just enjoy. A lot of them are like me. They're old. They can't get in their hands and knees anymore. And sneak up on a brook trout up on the run, Slate Run or Cedar Run. So provides fishing activity for everybody. And that's a great deal, and gives you a good activity for outdoors and keeps us coming back. So requires money to stock these fish. So please stop in at the shop or get on the computer. You can give online, donate. We will have new license plates, we're told, this year by December, which I hope happens, and I hope that occurs. But every time I do one of these videos, I'm always pushing for funds. It takes a lot of money to keep this going. And we have a few volunteers, the guys that go out and stock the fish. I used to do it. I don't do it any longer. But we have some wonderful, solid members who carry the fish and do take care of them and put them out. So if you know anybody with young kids, get them involved. That's the future of our sport. And I'll get criticized. Well, the kids are handling the fish wrong. Well, you should see how the fish are handled by some fishermen. So, the kids have to learn to do it, and it's a great time to do it. Bring them out. So thank you very much. If you've joined the club, thank you. If you have not, we would love to have your support and money. So again, September 18th in front of the store, 9:30 to 10, and see you then. Thanks. Great fishing.